It seems as though Apple could be in hot water. Recently, it was claimed by a Texas couple that their son's hearing was permanently damaged after wearing a set of AirPods. The company is allegedly being sued by the boy's parents, who are furious that using the product has now meant their son will suffer hearing loss for the rest of his life. Today, we are discussing Apple being sued over the ear-shattering AirPods alert, so don't go anywhere. First up, let's have a quick look at the history of AirPods. Stay tuned. When AirPods were released back in September 2016, they changed the way audio media was consumed and meant that people no longer had to worry about wires and plugging things into their phones. They were released in conjunction with the iPhone 7 and by 2018 had become Apple's most popular accessory, which showed a meteoric rise. Since then, Apple has released the AirPods Pro and the AirPods Max. The earphones also feature a pretty cool microphone which filters out unwanted background noise, as well as optical sensors, which allows the user to pause by double tapping. They also have a pretty cool feature which pauses whatever is being listened to as soon as they are removed from the ears. Apple's second-generation AirPods were then released in March 2019, which allowed for Hey Siri support as well as longer talk time. A wireless charging case was also available for an extra cost, and early last year, Apple released their third-generation AirPods. The newest offering features an external redesign which has shorter stems, similar to the AirPods Pro, which are also water-resistant. As well as this, they also have a better battery, meaning you can listen for longer now, while also coming with MagSafe charging capability. Which type of AirPods are you currently rocking? Let us know below. So what's going on with the lawsuit? Stay tuned to find out. Well, as we mentioned, Apple is being sued by a Texas family after it was claimed that an Amber Alert had permanently damaged their son's hearing. At the time, the boy was watching Netflix on his phone at a relatively low volume when the Amber Alert came through. Amber Alerts are warnings which automatically come through to phones when a child has gone missing. They contain important information and ask members of the public to contact police if they have any information, and they have become an important tool in finding missing children in recent years. The incident took place in May 2020. However, the lawsuit was only filed this week, and Carlos Gordoa and Ariani Reyes, the complainants in question, told of how their son was using the Apple accessories when the alert went off suddenly and without warning at a volume that tore apart BG's eardrum, damaged his cochlea, and caused significant injuries to BG's hearing. While sometimes annoying, Amber Alerts definitely work and have been instrumental in saving children's lives in the past. However, the family have complained that the alert came through at an ear-shattering volume, and their son now apparently suffers from vertigo, nausea, and dizziness, as well as having to, sadly, wear a hearing aid. Have you ever experienced anything like this? Let us know below. And what else did the suit say? Well, as you are probably aware, if you've ever received an Amber Alert, they often come through at a different, louder volume than you would have your AirPods set to, which critics have said can shock people and even cause accidents in extreme cases, as people react to the sudden burst of volume. And of course, they can potentially have detrimental effects on the ears, as the lawsuit suggests. The AirPods do not automatically reduce, control, limit, or increment notification or alert volumes to a safe level that causes them to emit. And this seemingly isn't the first time this issue has raised its head. There have been numerous complaints on Reddit and other internet message boards which suggest that AirPod Pro notifications are overly loud, and one Apple support page even has nearly 1,000 users all sharing the same sort of experience, which suggests this is not an isolated incident. And of course, there is no real need for notifications to be overly loud. Any alert that comes through will automatically prompt people to check what is going on, simply by interrupting what they are listening to. What do you guys make of all this? Let us know below. Next up, Apple has lost their position as the world's most valuable company. Stay tuned to hear all about it. It might surprise you to learn that Apple has recently lost their position as the world's most valuable company. The drop in position comes after a sell-off of the company's stock, being replaced by Saudi Aramco. Apple overtook the Middle Eastern company a couple of years back, but some investors have decided to sell their shares after a recent stock market wobble, deciding to opt for less risky assets. Of course, this all comes amidst the global cryptocurrency crash, which has seen some assets lose close to 100% of their value, and as a result of the sell-off, shares in the company dropped by around 5% a couple of weeks back. However, the company was still valued at around $2.37 trillion, so nobody is going hungry here. Saudi Aramco is now valued at around 2.42 trillion pounds, which means the Saudi company has taken back top spot for the first time since 2020. And it wasn't just Apple who were affected. The Nasdaq, which heavily features tech companies, closed 3.2% lower the same day Apple was replaced, and U.S. inflation also came in at a 40-year high. This all comes at the same time banks around the world have raised interest rates in response to the global economic crisis following the pandemic, which in turn has meant people have moved their funds into less risky investments. Apple will want to regain their place as soon as possible and will have a bit of thinking to do for the near future. Next up, we're talking all things iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max. If recent rumors are to be believed, the newest model iPhone should be with us this September, which fans of the phone will be excited about. And of course, there will be a selection of handsets available when it drops later this year, which will consist of 2 standard models as well as 2 high-end Pro models. And whilst there has been no word from Apple themselves just yet, it is thought that September's potential release date will stick to their usual timeframe, with exception to 2020's iPhone 12, which was delayed to October thanks to the pandemic. And if past releases are anything to go by, we believe the second Tuesday in September looks most likely at the moment, which would mean a release date of September 13. There is still no word on prices yet, but the iPhone 13 started at £679, so we can probably assume prices for the standard iPhone 14 will probably be in the same ballpark. But of course, we can safely assume the Pro model will cost significantly more, with some reports suggesting we can expect to tag on almost £100 to the standard model price. It is also thought the Pro Max could cost up to £1,100, which is pretty crazy just for a phone, right? Will you be buying the iPhone 14 of iPhone Pro or Pro Max when it drops later on this year? Give us your thoughts below. And finally, some sad news to report. After more than 2 decades on the market, Apple have recently revealed that they will be discontinuing their legendary iPod Touch, the last in the iPod line. The iPod, of course, revolutionized the way music was consumed, and when the first model dropped back in 2001, it allowed users to store up to 1,000 songs. This, at the time, was seen as a complete game changer, but since the development of apps such as Spotify and Apple Music, which offer almost 100 million songs on their platforms, as well as phones themselves being capable of storing thousands of songs, the iPod has been left in the proverbial dust. The company kind of shot themselves in the foot with the development of the iPhone, which combined the iPod with phone, meaning the original iPod was seen as largely redundant. There have been different iPod models down the years, most of which have been discontinued already, but the iPod Touch signals the last model to be phased out by the firm. And Greg Joswiak, who serves as Senior Vice President of Worldwide Marketing, said the iPod redefined how music is discovered, listened to, and shared. And it was Steve Jobs himself who revealed the new gadget back in 2001, as the company had announced they were going to launch a new music player, by giving us all a hint that it's not a Mac. Jobs said at the time that music's a part of everyone's life. Music's been around forever. It will always be around. Whilst the takeaway message from the event was 1,000 songs in your pocket, and the pioneering gadget will be fondly remembered. As always, thanks for dropping in today, and remember to join us next time for some more fun and games. And why not do us a solid by liking and sharing today's video, whilst also subscribing to our channel so not to miss out on more great content in the future.